I'm gonna swap followed by a light bomb.
Here. 4-man mosh pit followed by a tomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're gonna follow up, and they're gonna get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my God! When does this happen? Everybody's dead.
G'day. Welcome back to another Nexus Gaming Series cast. This time we have a Division C East game of the... I've spelled that wrong. C East game of playoffs. Showing our Rescue Rangers facing off against Brickhouse. I actually think I casted them for their regular season match as well, is the funny thing. I have such a strange feeling about that. That it was them... And like... But it was them I casted. I'd have to check, because I can't remember off the top of my head. I can check here. My cast if show. Yes, I did cast the regular season match, so this should be interesting. I'd like to see where this goes, because I think it was close the first time around, but I'm not sure how close it'll be this time. So let's get into it, really, to say the least, so I can't remember anything. We do have Chongar Rescue Rangers banning out both the Cursed Hollow and Infernal Shrines. Yes, this is why I like Chongar Rescue Rangers. They do ban out Infernal. Hell yeah! Meanwhile, Brickhouse, they are banning out Towers of Doom and Tomb of the Spider Queen, which, fair enough. And that leads us to Braxis, for probably the least played map this season, I swear to God, unless there's something else I'm forgetting, like Garden or something. I don't know. Either way, Braxis Holdout is a good old team fighting one, so we may see some good brawls and such, but let me open up the map. As I was sitting there on the screen, just like waiting for it, like, yes, this will happen eventually. But yeah, we are just getting into it now, so just little bit of patience. I hope the teams are around the right way, because I don't actually remember who's on what team, so let me just open this check. Of course they're the wrong way around. Why would they be the right way around? Because I'm pretty sure Dizzy Wingman is Brickhouse. You make sure you're right way around next time, guys. Or else. Anyway, we do have on the side of Brickhouse, who's on the left, Dizzy Wingman in the off lane on the Leoric. Let me just make sure I have things right. Little Soul, Dancing Diablo, Shyborg on the Lunara, Tater on the Vala, and Zesty on the Oriole. Ooh, that's a strong combo. You know, we have Impsky, Imperius, Frank on the Junkrat, Tezik on the Tychus. I was like, what? Who is it again? Fading Cheishi on the... Or Cheishi? Oh, we've been over this. Cheishi, I think. On the Anduin, and Hebrew Hammer on the Arthas. Definitely an underpicked one, but it can do a lot in the right situation. We can see a lot of damage going on, and that was the right situation. Little Cell goes down. They weren't actually able to get out of the range of Hebrew Hammer. Thank you to that slow. Oreo has to heal themselves immediately, taking a lot of damage. Oreo does take a little bit to come online. It's probably a thing to mention. They do heal based off their damage. Well, their damage dealer energy they give them. And, well, Vala is also one that needs to scale a little bit. Vala is one of those kind of major scaling heroes that do take time to build up. And I'm pushing the wrong button now. Instead of talents, we do see its auto attack Vala, so that will be a while before it builds up. We do really need to see that first stack before too much else happens, but they can get a lot of value even now. And that's actually the only stacking quest outside of it, because we actually see Little Soul didn't get a single orb. They didn't see get a single soul in that first fight. They died before the minion wave did, which is impressively fast time to die for a tank. Speaking about time to die, we do see that Diablo once again is in trouble. Barely skirts around the Junkrat trap. Meanwhile, we see Tater healing everyone up as much as it can. My God, Nexus Gaming Series website is taking its time today. And we do see now it jigs it up. I don't know how this goes either way. I think if Emsky hit... Oh, I'm going to talk about the top very quick while we're here. If Emski hits Spear, Emski wins. If Dizzy Wingman hits Bucket, Dizzy Wingman wins. If neither hit, it's just going to be awkward. If both hit, it very much depends on the kiting ability of Leoric, I guess. That kiting ability comes in very strong if you're good enough at it. And wow, my browser really just doesn't like me currently. Hope my internet is still up. That is concerning. Let's just Google something. Please. So I just saw things freezing real quick. Oh my god, I hope I'm not dropping frames. Well, that's not something I thought would be brought up, but here we are anyway. We do see objective currently is over in favor of Cho and Gall Rescue Rangers. Brickhouse doing what they can to step in. Hebrew Hammer doing a little bit of poke, a little bit of damage. Tater getting stacked more and more. Zesty trying to get the NG they can from it. I'm surprised honestly it's not W build from Tater. W build's very good on this map, but I guess if you don't intend on losing the objectives, W works out very well. Little Soul leading the trap back, walk straight into it. But we've learned something about this Diablo that they can bleed. Tychus makes this very difficult for Diablo really to do anything. We can see that time and time again at this point, Diablo is going down. Shyborg gets hit with an ice grenade by Tazik. However, they will hold on. They're honestly fine. Shyborg does have to back up. They're like, there's a little bit too much healing for you, Zesty. Let me just back on up. Zesty doesn't have their hat on anyone currently. Important thing to note. Hey, computer, what the hell are you doing today? Sorry about this. I'm having some technical issues. And we do see Hebrew Hammer is looking to step up into the side of Brickhouse, but chooses not to in the end. Right, Little Soul's taking a lot of damage, does get pushed into Hebrew Hammer at the side, but no, that's Hebrew Hammer now the one in danger, does get pulled out. Diablo goes down first, however, Dizzy Wingman gets tossed over the wall. That's the second kill over for the side of Cho and Gall Rescue Rangers. Dizzy Wingman will go down next, that's free. Yeah, I do things right around there. Wait, and Zesty is being chased downwards, does give a whip onto Imperius, and actually gets booped out by Junkrat. Tater doing what damage they can onto it. Tazik taking a little bit, but not too much there. But they will back out eventually. Emski has to back for the mana. Top Zerg is already down. Then this bottom one has a lot to go. I'm still on the... Oh my god! So I may just restart this whole thing, eh? Thank you for saying something, Tater, because I feel like I've missed it by quite a bit, haven't I? Wow, that's embarrassing. Huh. I haven't done that in a while. Yeah, let's just go back to the beginning. It was scuffed anyway. We'll just go, it was scuffed anyway. Right. Now we're in the game. In just a few moments, I really had things really wrong way around. There we go. It's now visible. I assume everyone can see it. That was embarrassing to say at least. Anyway, we are here now at least. We see... I need to close this, because I did actually have to open it. People saying good luck, have fun. We have Leoric. Let's start again. Dizzy Wingman on Leoric. We have Little Soul on the Dancing Diablos. Shyborg on the Lunara. Leoric we see is mounting. Tater is on the Vala and Zesty on the Oriole. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, we do have Emski on the Imperius. Fading Chaishi on the... Oh no, so I'm sorry. Fading Chaishi is on the Anduin. Frank Junkrat. Hebrew Hammer on the Arthas. And Tazik stepping up with that minigun. And this is where it starts again. Little Soul saying they don't want to see themselves dying a lot. However, that is them going down to the Arthas. We also see Hebrew Hammer trying to stay on top of Shyborg, and they are actually able to get out as well. Good heal for themselves to Zesty. If there was a grenade up for them, that would have been them down. They still take actually a lot of damage. You can see them relatively low, even now after all that healing coming out. Up top, we do see Dizzy, Wingman, and Emski in that duel. The Eternal Conflict happening top. And again, as I said earlier, this very much is a matchup dependent thing, where if Dizzy Wingman hits their bucket, their W, they have the advantage. If Emski hits their spear, they have advantage. If neither hit, neither hit. If both hit, it comes down to with Dizzy Wingman and how well they can kite the Imperius. Nice grenade by Tazik there, hitting all 4, and we'll actually look at talents now that we're here. The only stacking talent is the Vala. We see Hebrew Hammer getting a freeze onto Little Soul once again skirting around that W, as I said, the first time around. Zesty getting the heal onto 3 of the 4 members. Little Soul missing out on that. Hebrew Hammer wanting to step down into the team of Brickhouse, but nope, forced back out. They do skirt around their own Junkrat's trap. Little Soul is being ran on top of again, and once again getting hit by W. Getting hit and gets caught by the Junkrat trap for being going down. Hebrew Hammer, however, gets pulled to safety. Anduin barely getting that heal off in time, meaning they won't die. But that will be, again, the second kill onto Arthas. Which really, now that I'm watching this back again, I'm like, man, it's a rough life if you are the Diablo. Sorry, I was meant to say Diablo dying the second time. Nice roll by Tater, gets hit by a grenade, dodges the root, however, from Hebrew Hammer, and now we see Little Soul stepping up once again to probably their third demise. We see a nice stun coming out onto Hebrew Hammer. That is Little Soul getting thrown over the wall, taking a decent amount of damage, popping the spell armor of the process to see if they can live. And I do wonder how important that Soul Shield is this game, considering they don't really have the most spell damage showing Gall Rescue Rangers. Yeah, because sure, we have Junkrat with his traps and with his explosives, but a lot of his damage still does come from the auto attacks. Speaking of which, we do see that this is now a very endangered Little Soul. Little Soul goes down again. Shyborg and Tater getting relatively low. Zesty healing what they can. Tater stepping up. Shyborg having to back up to safety. Not quite wanting to step in. Oh, nope, they're going back out. Brave. Grenade, setting them to 1. Zesty healing them up so nothing can kind of go over the wall and find them miraculously. As we do see Tater and Zesty are pushed back, but that is all she wrote there. Hebrew Hammer seeing if they can catch anyone else out with a root or a slow. Isn't able to quite get on top of them. We can actually see they're going the auto attack build of Icy Talon. So I imagine we'll see the rune tap at level 7. We see the side of Brickhouse starting their own camp. Chongar Rescue Rangers, however, deciding, no, actually not allowed. Let's not have that right now. And Little Soul is in danger, taking a lot of damage. Does push Hebrew Hammer. Doesn't actually get him to wall. No stun happened there. But Hebrew Hammer will take a decent amount of damage, get flipped back in. Does get pulled to safety by the Anduin. Tater taking a lot of damage. We see Shyborg actually getting relatively low, taken out by Tazik. Zesty finds the camp. However, Dizzy Wingman is in danger. Will go down. Zesty cannot stay here for long. Spear hits him. Tazik trying their best to finish him as well. Nice W coming out. We see Frank puts down the concussion mine. Zesty actually gets out to safety. Tater gets a little bit damage onto Tazik, and we're more or less caught up to where we were before while I wasn't showing the stream. Because now we do see top Zerg is already down. Imperious dead back. And that is Dizzy Wingman doing his best to clear the Zerg. Just standing in the middle of it, getting a nice meaty Q off. Hebrew Hammer actually stepping up a little bit too far. Zesty doing what healing they can. Heals themselves up with Tater. And that will be the Zerg actually defended before it could even find the fort. Albeit, there is going to be Junkrat probably just peppering it every now and again. As Junkrat has a lot of poke, and we can see the fort goes down. Emsky is alone top. And it looks like this side of... I was like, be quiet. They may hear you. Brickhouse is wanting the kill onto them. Which I don't think Emsky knows yet. Oh, there is going to be a full rotation coming up. Brickhouse decides, actually, not a great idea. Let's just do our own camp. But we will need someone to defend bottom. Because if this wave goes, if this pushes in, actually, it looks like it will go down either way. To the side of Chongar Rescue Rangers. Hebrew Hammer stepping up. Q's the building. And that is the fort going down to Chongar Rescue Rangers, taking the first structure of the game. They scouted boss, made sure no one's in, no one's doing it. It is now Brickhouse showing by that camp. Speaking of which, Dizzy Wingman showing, but very close to their own gate. I wouldn't say they're safe by any means, however, as we do now see everyone coming up. Unstop used by Dizzy Wingman, and that spectral walk, that Wraith walk, they're able to get out. Little Soul thrown over once again into danger. However, they do escape this time. Which, I'm pretty sure Little Soul's like, oh, thank God I didn't die again. Because, yeah, it's been a rough game for the tank of Brickhouse thus far. Nice Junkrat grenade, finding both Tater and Zesty. Meanwhile, we don't see anyone bottom, so we're going to have a full-on fight here. Hebrew Hammer walks around a corner, goes, oh God, it's Diablo. Walks away immediately. Diablo doesn't get stun onto him. unfortunately for Hebrew Hammer, but that will be looking to be a good old brawl coming out in a few moments as Little Soul gets hit by that concussion mine. Right. Interesting that we see... I know why we see Blossom Swell. Blossom Swell definitely very good in a lot of situations if you're going that Q build on the Lunara. But I do wonder if the Nature's culling would be a little bit more effective. Oh no, Little Soul. As, well, it does do a lot of PvE damage, which you kind of need on this map. There's a Zerg Wave, Zesty getting the whip onto Tazik. However, they will not survive the well-placed root by Hebrew Hammer, that Frost Blast. Frost Presence? Frost something? I can't remember what it's called. Will get the kill onto the Oriole. Alright, Cyborg and Tater need to do their best to defend here. Tazik taking a little bit of damage in the process. Tater getting what they can onto Tazik. Root coming out, grenade coming out. Tater going down to half, a little bit below half, in fact, needing to tap. And that is now 2 objectives over to the side of or 2 beacons being channeled by Brickhouse. Cyborg stepping up, but no, Little Soul wasn't getting aggressive. They're feeling a bit... They feel like they not really want to go in now. They're playing pretty safe. Meanwhile, we see Lunara does nab that top globe. A nice whip by Oriole. Hebrew haven't taken a lot of damage. Little Soul also taking a lot. Moving back out, but no, that looks like it's Tater going down. That's one stack with Gambit gone. That is the Lunara soon to follow. That is a... Not any Gambit gone, it's just a dead Lunara. I do like Venison, but not maybe like that. Whip coming out from Oriole, but she didn't have heal up in time. Anduin finds a kill there, and that is 11 to 9. We do see a Zerg coming up soon enough. So we're going to have a look at Heroics while this is happening, and we'll have a touch on things. As Tazik does have that Commandeer Odin active. We do also see Riptide, Junkrat, Angelic Armaments from the Imperius, Lightbomb Anduin, and Army of the Dead on Arthas, which, in all honesty, if you're already in this position, I would have liked to maybe see Syndragosa. Syndragosa is always an interesting one to see in these situations, especially when you have that advantage already. You have a lot of push potential. Why not augment and empower that push potential with Summon Syndragosa? Alright, we do see now the gate is being pushed into by the side of Chongar Rescue Rangers. Dizzy Wingman is here to help defend. Meanwhile, Imperius is defending their own Zerg bottom, while the opposition Zerg bottom, and doing pretty well at it. Dizzy Wingman gets hit with a grenade pushed in. We do see him step up. Does catch Fading Chaishi with the Entomb, and this is maybe the reversal of fortune that they need. And Diablo doesn't actually give a kill on it. We do see that Lightning Breath on top of him, but no. They get to survive. Anduin survives what should have been a death there. We do meanwhile see that is Cyborg stuck on the end of a spear, as that is Emsky flipped in, and Jug Armaments used. Pull coming out to Hebrew Hammer. The Jug Armaments already over. Emsky seeing if they can get one last spear. They do get it on the Dizzy Wingman. Dizzy Wingman been taking extra damage from the Junkrat Concussion Mine, but that'll be all she wrote for that fight. A lot of abilities used, everyone surviving, but as we said now, Heroics are through. We did have that Entomb and the Lightning Breath from Diablo. We can also see Thornwood Vine Lunara, Rain of Vengeance Vala, and the Resurrection from Oriole. Oh, sorry, just Resurrect from Oriole. And this is where Chongar Rescue Rangers are feeling confident currently. They're trying to take control of this map, keep control of this map. They do have a talent advantage. 10s are on line for both teams. Most of the 10s are up still. So by no means does any team have a significant advantage outside of the talents being in favor of Chongar Rescue Rangers, which it looks like they're trying to use once again. Little Soul is being bullied once again. Tazik just unloading into him. 670 health. Yep, that is Diablo down, and that's also in reset. Res coming off in the middle thing, so I don't think that's necessary considering it is a Diablo with Soulstone up. But Hebrew Hammer is going to take a decent amount of damage to start with. Nice Riptide hitting 4 out of the 5 members of the side of Brickhouse. We can see Commandeer Odin being dropped, and this looks like it is the side of... No, Tazik just used it, and then it must have been a call for a disengage. So maybe a little bit frustrating if you are the... What's his name? Tychus. But it's not the end of the world. It is a long cooldown, sure, but it does count from when you use it. So it will be back in another 70 seconds. And it looks like we're going that overkill build, grenade and overkill, sorry, spray and pray, which I always find interesting that these are the talents it's picked up. I typically like full grenade build, but I guess considering how much I see overkill picked up at 13, 16, 20, I guess I should give it a try. Also, things to note, we do have Anduin at 2 stacks of Piercing Light. We have Tychus at 6 stacks of Master Assassin. And we do have now a very aggressive rotate by the red team. Tater has found Hebrew Hammer. Little Soul as well. But looks like they are not wanting to get anyone get out. Hebrew Hammer's pushed back by Little Soul. We do see the army dead pop. Nice double stun by Tater. Little Soul popped into a dangerous spot. But is barely holding on. Thank you to Zesty. They do have that hat still on Vivala. Little Soul taking a lot of damage. There's Leoric down first. Tater down next. We see Little Soul down bottom. We see Cyborg as well. And Zesty is going the wrong way, but they may have a chance to hold on if this happens. And that is 3 kills from the side of Gall Rescue Rangers. Meanwhile, Zesty does mount, is not able to get out. Frank finds them in time. Zesty has nowhere to run, and that'll be them going down. And imagine we're going to see a boss play coming out for the side of Gall Rescue Rangers. Sure, they may have someone capture top, but they may have someone start object. No boss. We're not feeling boss-like. No, they're just going to push with camp instead rather than getting value on map, as opposed to getting that resource of the Archangel itself. As we see Commandeer Odin being dropped once again. It's going through that pretty quickly. We see Gates already down. Tezek is actually getting up there in terms of stacks. Just 6 more, and they'll have the full attack speed bonus from that quest, which will be a lot to deal with if you are the side of Brickhouse. They are briefly on even talents, but it will not be for too long, as it's very close to 16s for the side of Gall Rescue Rangers, who's starting boss now. Bold choice. I mean, I would have probably done that a little bit sooner. The side of Brickhouse should know that this boss is being done, but they're not going to go meet it. They just have to defend Zerg for now, which, fair enough. I don't know whether that's correct play, but it is definitely the safer play. And we do see the Archangel will also be hitting bottom, as this does have more health than this. Oh wait, no, it's going top. I have no clue how this boss works anymore. Entomb comes out, doesn't quite find anyone. Fading Chase, she alive. We see Little Soul in danger, but no, it is the Oriole going down first. Wizzy Dingman, I was about to say, but Dizzy Wingman, Little Soul gets a flip stun, not able to live. That is their ghost holding there. That's Oriole down. Did I just read Oriole was down again? Did Oriole rest herself? I don't know. Either way, we do see Dizzy Wingman is down next. Tater and Cyborg can do their best to defend. They're running at it, but no, it looks like they are now out of time. That is his core being pushed into by the side of Gall Rescue Rangers. Pull used at the end by Fading Cheishi. And that is the first game of the series, going over to the side of Gall Rescue Rangers. Let's have a look at the stats screen, shall we? In terms of stats, Tigers had a lot of damage. So did Junkrat, but they were absolutely feeding on Diablo for a while. As you see, Diablo have the most deaths in game by 8. It is a rough day for Soul House. Sorry, I read their name in chat. Little Soul, to say the least. You're probably not wanting to relive that one ever again, so we will move on in just a few moments. That, all the damage, relatively same across the board. For just more in favor of Gall Rescue Rangers, similarly for Siege. They have the most, but inherently they will have the most because they're able to push into the structures. In terms of talents, everything, Tychus is built a little bit weird, but everything kind of more or less makes sense. These are things that you typically see together. Interesting to see Consume Vitality on Leoric. Maybe not the strongest for the offlane, but can give that little extra sustain he needs. Otherwise, Arthas was leaning into that auto attack build, which can do a lot. You don't see it often, but still can do a lot. And yeah, this is just a weird selection of talents between Spray and Pray and Sizzling Attacks. But I guess if Tychus was never feeling really pressured by the end of it, there's no point really going for defensive talent. Alright, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to change to map view. And I'm going to remember to actually show matches this time instead of actually just talk about them for 4 minutes and then re-chat going, I can't see the match. I'm like, bugger. It happens either way, to say the least. Sometimes it just mess things up, but it is what it is. But we are on the map view screen now. I'm going to chalk it on over here before I forget. And that was Gall Rescue Rangers on the wrong side winning the map. Get it round the right way next time, guys. And we do have yet another 2-lane map coming up of Battlefield of Eternity. I haven't actually got to cast this one today. Unless it's meant to be the other way around. Then someone just entered them wrong. But this is Yes, this is around for right way this time. Thank you, teams. You've done it. That's me clapping for you. Just congrats, you did it. But we will be getting on into the battle. And let's jump on over. I pushed the wrong button, but we still got to the same spot. Anyway, we have Hebrew Hammer on the Malthael, Imski on Artanis. Is this the right way around now? Anyway, Frank on Hanzo, Fading Cheishi on the Brightwing, and Tazak on May. Now on the right hand side, we do have Dizzy Wingman on the Death Wing. Little Soul on Diablo once again, probably enjoying the fact that there's no Tychus this time around. Tata is on the Pew Pew. Well, there is a Tychus actually. Shyborg is a Tychus. We do also see Zesty, Ana. Oh, I do like an Ana. And Tata is the Bala. I'll be very curious to what we see from Ana for their level 10, but we'll have to wait and see for that one. We do see Amateur Opponent picked up by the Artanis, which, correct choice. And also the Serrated Arrow Hanzo. Oh, no, not Serrated, Serrated 4. Simple Geometry Hanzo. Q build Vala, so probably going to see Nano. And yeah, that's it for kind of this quest. And Little Soul has already gotten there a few souls earlier this game than last. Of course, last game they died before the wave crashed. This time they managed to get the souls from that wave. Also, I should mention that it will be a tough matchup for for Deathwing top. Leoric is one of those ones that do very well into characters with armor, higher health characters with armor, especially because they can heal off of them. We see Hanzo is actually doing pretty well with Scatter. They're already at 5 stacks, while Vala's only at 2 of their Qs. So we see 3 of their Qs. Tater is really needing to step up that race. And I'd say Race would probably go over in the for this first objective to Shoangal Rescue Rangers. But as we get into the later game, I think maybe Brickhouse may have the advantage once Monster Hunter comes through. Bit hard to say, as well Imski is also there as well with their Amateur Opponent. How are you doing up top, Deathwing? Not too hot. You're not doing too hot in terms of health. But you're at least keeping your gate. Oh god, you really have to leave. You let Hebrew Hammer get a little bit too much value off you there. And we see Tater barely misses that Q. Polymorph coming out onto the Diablo. Diablo, once a giant, now a squirrel, back to a giant lizard. Tazak getting hit a little bit by Tater. Let's open up the talents real quick, see what's happening. 6 stacks from them, and 7 from Hanzo. Slowing down a little bit for Hanzo, but all in all, not a major concern. Tazak finds Diablo hidden in a bush. Frank is backing. Meanwhile, the Artanis is going to be starting the camp. Leoric does the neutral siege top camp. And it looks like Tazak is going to be scouting again. But they've realized that people backed out. It's just Little Soul trying to get their souls. Any more stacking at this talent here? Oh, we have the bigger they are. I like that pickup for Tychus. It's going to be do very well into May, into Mouth, into Tazak. Wait, May, Artanis, Mouth. Yes. And we do also see the... was this Die Alone from the Malthael? So he'll do even better into Dizzy Wingman now. But we can see race already started. Definitely in favor of Shoangal Rescue Rangers start. But Brickhouse isn't actually all that far behind, considering they haven't even hit their kind of main power spike for the race, while Serrated Arrows and Amateur Opponent are already aligned for Shoangal Rescue Rangers. Maybe we need to see Deathwing and Diablo kind of slowing them down here while the rest of the team race. You can see Deathwing do a little stomp, little doo-doo. And we now see Dizzy Wingman getting some fire out, forcing Imski off the Immortal. Tazak is also there as well. Meanwhile, Malthael is still clearing top, so we can take a little bit. Nice done by Little Soul, but they are going to need to start backing out. And race now is in favor of the side of Brickhouse. And Brickhouse gets the Immortal. Little Soul, however, a little bit too much pain coming in. Nice hit by Zesty. Zesty barely keeping Little Soul alive. Little Soul doing the best they can to hold on. Zesty doing their best, but no, can't quite save him one last time. And that is 2 kills on the side of Shoangal Rescue Rangers. However, the Immortal is up. It'll be pushing top. And that will be... But still get 2 kills. Kind of nullified. That Immortal kind of nullified both 2 kills for 2 kills. Kind of being cancelled out by the Immortal. So showing our Rescue Rangers can't get a super large amount of value here. Purely because of how the fight broke down afterwards. Well, neither team can get too much value here. I should say. We see that bot tower went down. But this bot one up here is also pretty low as well. Malfail reset for mana. Health mana. And we do now have defense of top coming out for Brickhouse. I'm going to open up talents again. I also hope everyone in chat's doing well, because I think we're into the 3rd series day now. Nice stun by Little Cell. Tater rolling down. We do see Tezek rolled in. 11 stacks from Val already. That's getting up there. Tezek taking a lot of damage. Emski hitting them for what they can. Phase shift coming out to Tezek. Grenade actually interrupts the phase shift, as we do have that grenade build. So we're going to have that finishing potential with the bigger they are at level 4. Doing a lot of damage as well. Malfail still having a good old think about what they want at level 7. Whether it be the minus healing, whether it be the AoE hits on the W, will be a bit hard to tell until they choose it. Tater getting a lot of slow, and it is actually the AoE hit on the W with the Massacre, which I like the selling a lot, especially when you pair it with the percent health down. Oh, that was an Ana found. That's a dead Ana. Yep, Ana goes down, hits a nice grenade at the end, hitting 3-4 people, including herself. They'll be all sure right there. What build are you? Full grenade build Ana, okay. But looks like that the side of Brickhouse does not want Chongar Rescue Rangers to get this that easily. However, that may be a costly decision, as Little Cell is doing their best to hold on, do survive, and actually Fading Sheishi is finally able to get off the phase shift, not interrupted by a grenade this time around. And that will be Ana just coming back up to the team now, as top camp is taken by Chongar Rescue Rangers. Right, good drink. I'm going to put this down here, and we'll see how this goes. Dizzy Wingman is going to be getting what damage they can out. Does just meander out of the Blizzard, as it obviously definitely... Oh, as we know, I should say, Deathwing is unstoppable during reactions. And flipping Hebrew Hammer into the middle of your team doesn't necessarily work in this case. It works in a lot of instances, but not when it is a Malfail who wants to heal as much as possible from them. Oh, thank you for following Defying Peace. As we do now have a fight coming out, Little Soul getting a flip and stun onto Hebrew Hammer once again. Minus healing onto them. That's a good use of grenade. And we see a double stun coming out now by Tazek. Tater hitting, Zessie hitting the sleep dart. Tater getting what damage they can. And this is a low immortal. Oh, you subscribed? I'm blind. Thank you for subscribing. Defying Peace. Look, man, I'm still in the area where I don't expect people to subscribe, because I just talk a bunch. What is it called? Imposter syndrome. Like, oh, no. But I appreciate it greatly. Thank you. We do see objective is going down. And once again, the race is in favor of Brickhouse. And fortunately, this time for Brickhouse, they didn't actually lose anyone in the process of that going down. 10s are through for both teams. So let's have a brief look. We do have... It is my job to talk about. You are correct. But Little Soul is going to get Emski go through them, but not quite take them out. We do see the Bellowing Roar, Diablo, Eye of Horus on Ana. Not something you see too often. Usually, again, I was expecting to see Nano, but we do not see it. We also have Lightning Breath, Diablo, Rain of Vengeance, Vala, and the Dragon Laser Drill on the Tychus. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have Dragon Arrow Hanzo. Not Dragon Strike. As much as I do love Dragon Strike, it's not being used. Last Rites, Malfail, Orbital Bombardment. Sorry, Suppression Pulse. Orbital Bombardment is the upgrade from the... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, that is a very dead Malfail. Meanwhile, we see Tater in danger. Does have to run away. Zesty trying to get sleep off. Doesn't quite protect Tezek moving back. There's Tezek in danger. Dizzy Wingman walks in, uses that Bellowing Roar, and that is actually May going down. No Avalanche to save him there. No Blink Heal from Brightwing either to save him. And that is some quick kills going over to the side of Brickhouse, who... After that first game, it was looking very rough. This second game, however... Oh yeah, now I've opened it, I can exactly see. I don't know how I feel about being called a charismatic loser. That's a weird one. I've just looked at all the messages, like, charismatic loser, definitely interesting insult, but I will accept it. And also, I guess I'm not taking my eyes too much off the action, even though I'm like, it's a replay, I can a little bit more, but I do like giving people the cast they want. However, we do see now we're getting a full rotate up onto Hebrew Hammer. Hebrew Hammer does have Dizzy Wingman drop on top of him. Will they flip in? No, they save it. But Diablo, however, still finds a wall. That's another stun follow-up. Hebrew Hammer taking a little bit too much damage, and that will be the Malthael going down once again. Because, yes, while Malthael does have some pretty good, like, auto-attack, like, good cleave, they have good self-healing. If they are stunned the whole time, and there's nothing else to take any kind of form of aggro off of them, they can go down a lot. Like, yeah, sure, they went Fear of a Reaper to escape these situations, but there's only so much moving through people can do if you're taking a boatload of damage in a very short amount of time. And Immortals are coming up soon. Camp's being picked up by the side of Brickhouse. I did update the score. Good. And we do have the Immortals up now. I'm going to zoom out as we do see race happening from both sides. But that Vala Q build coming in quite strong. I'm going to quickly open that. Coming quite strong now. 22 stacks on Vala already. With Monster Hunter is a lot of damage to Immortals, especially with those resets. And we can see it is barely in favor of Brickhouse so far. Now this is where we'll get a good fight, as we are going to get the teams pushing into the aggressive side of the map. Nice Blizzard by Tazik there. Dizzy Wingman getting an immediate stun on the Emsky. Emsky wanted to go in. Is split off a little bit by that not lightning breath, but fire breath from the Deathwing as they kind of separate the two teams. Stomp coming out from Dizzy Wingman. Not really finding too much here, but this, with how the fight is going down, Brickhouse getting a lot more value out of it. And that is a lot of fire going out at once. That is the Malthael going at first. Oh, that was an unfortunate place for Zesty to be avalanched into. And that is the healer going down the side of Brickhouse. But May was found in the process. She went aggressive for that slide. Yeah, but that's them going down. Emsky will be the next one to go down. That is the Artanis. And now we see the Immortal will be going top, pushing into Chongal Rescue Rangers top once again. And this time, Brickhouse actually have a team to push with it. They don't have Ana, sure, but Ana, if in dire straits, can just pop that Eye of Horus and save anyone as needed. Meanwhile, 13s are just coming through for the side of Chongal Rescue Rangers now. 16s not too far off the horizon for Brickhouse. Nice slow coming up there by Tazik. A lot of damage coming up. There's that Eye of Horus, as I said it would be. Keeping up Little Soul that little bit they need. Last Right's coming out on Deathwing, but Deathwing can't be healed by Ana, even in a Eye of Horus. So that will be a dead wing. And they're getting very aggressive on the Hebrew Hammer again. Hebrew Hammer realizing what's happening. They do get nice. Oh, that's very good by Hebrew. They do manage to get the E off onto Little Soul, so they are able to swap through them and hold on just that little bit longer. Nice sleep by Zesty. However, Zesty needs to watch out for the swap. Nearly dodged into it, which not exactly a dodge at that point, just a mispositioning on their part. And we can now see that both teams are very aware of what's about to happen, but 16 talents are through for Chongal for Brickhouse, and they're going to want this camp. Avalanche fighting one. We do see they're pushing the wall. Nice double stun arrow by the Hanzo, but this is May in a dangerous position. Dizzy Wingman gets the stomp off. Actually hits Tazik with Little Soul. Yep, Little Soul does get the flip. And actually flips him straight into the Deathwing's Fire Breath. And that is now fading Chasey in danger. Nope, they do have Blink Heal up, are able to get out. Dizzy Wingman uses Cataclysm to try and catch up. However, the Cataclysm does not quite find anyone. Yep. Dizzy Wingman. Yep, Zesty tried to dodge into that so hard, which not ideal, but I think even if they did kind of get into the direct path of it, I think they were barely out of a max range of the swap. Frank doing a little flip thing to get out of the way of danger, and Dizzy Wingman will be getting what damage they can as well. However, Immortals will be up soon. I don't imagine that Brickhouse will be here for too much longer, as May is also just about back up. Polymorph coming out onto Little Soul. Little Soul needed back. On up. But this building may actually go down. It's getting low, and there it is. It goes down to the W of both Little Soul and Dizzy Wingman. Right, Immortals have spawned. Race is starting. Let's see how this goes as Tater just absolutely chunks it immediately. Tazit getting stunned. Dizzy Wingman seeing what damage they can get off on the Immortal. Soul Shield popped by Diablo. Don't know if that was absolutely necessary there, but still at least kept them relatively healthy. And now once again we have a very defensive side of Immortals, but that is Brickhouse needing to... Oh, Chongal Rescue Rangers need to step into Brickhouse as they have 16th. Now it's the advantage has an NA arrow going right through there. Didn't quite find anyone. Emsky taking a lot of damage at minus healing, doing a little bit too much. Hebrew Hammer flipped into awkward place for Fading Sheshi. And Fading Sheshi, Vod's vent into the W, did hold on, thankfully. Last Rise didn't find anyone either by the looks of it. Tazak in an awkward spot, taking a lot of damage. Shyborg does have the minigun activated, but it doesn't really do anything when the enemy heroes are below 33%. Thank you to the Big of AR talent picked up at level 4. Speaking of which, I haven't looked at talents in a while. Let's see what's happened. I thought we were going to get Grenade at 16, I'll be honest. I don't hate the overkill talents here though from Tychus, as they are that consistent extra damage, and then you can still have W and your trait of minigun to finish people off. Deathwing is breath build, which is understanding why now he's doing so much damage in these team fights. Anything else standing out? Polymorph Brightwing, minus 25 armor, can do a lot for the side of Cho and Gall Rescue Rangers. You know, Vala makes sense. Everything else is making sense. Let's see where this goes, as this building is going to go down very soon. And there's still half health left on Immortal, which is a lot to say the least. Sounded too cool to help us fight, mate. Yeah, fair enough. Tater's like, I'm done there. We want to see Immortal is pushing in, does get the shots off on a core. We do see that is a Draken Laser Drill also being activated. But that won't be targeted for a little bit, as it will be the Immortal being targeted for now. Nice stun by Tater, finding Hebrew Hammer there. Tazak stepping in, nice stun at point blank on the Hebrew Hammer. Dizzy Wingman is flying straight over the core, and it looks like it will be maybe an end core now. The Immortal is still up. Dizzy Wingman's going to see what they can do, and that core is quickly falling now. Tater hitting the core, and that will be the game. And, well, yeah, that's now a 1-1. Brickhouse even with Chongal Rescue Rangers. This is all going to come down to a final map for whichever team is about to lose. This is going to be a good series. This is a very good series. And let me throw it on over to my game summary screen. There we go. In terms of talents, everything makes sense. We do see... Oh, God, stretch. Oh, God, ow. We do see anything stand out in particular? No. Big of AR, maybe, especially into Q builds into the overkill at 13-16, but that's really turning up enough now where it probably shouldn't. Interesting on Vala, we don't see Manticore. We actually see Seething Hatred picked up, which means you're very much, you're like, yeah, I'm going to hit all my shots and not going to be stopped, which it did work out for them in saying that. I'm surprised Manticore wasn't picked up, because Manticore can do so well into this team, but you already had a lot of percent damage coming up from Tychus. Do you necessarily need more, was the question they asked themselves, and we found out no was in fact the answer. That inevitable end from the Malfail to stop the stuns didn't quite help him. There is one more map. I may do another series after this. Actually no, I'll finish after this kind of next map, because I feel my throat disappearing soon, and I do have a live cast later for Girls Gank Squad. And yeah, in terms of stats, pretty even across the board. Brightwing doing so much healing, but there was just that much damage coming out from the whole squad of Brickhouse in general. So I'm going to throw it over to the map view screen, and we'll see what the last map is. I should also mention that I don't actually have who chose map on the board, just because if I have a look at that, I ruin myself the scores and such, and I don't really want to do that. I like being surprised as I go into the series, and we do have a Dragonshire as the last map of the series, and probably the day for me, so let's open that up and see where we go. All to play for between Cho and Gall Rescue Rangers and Brickhouse at this point. Both teams need the win to move on to the next round of the playoffs, but that should be kind of understood there, as these are tournament matches, they are needed. And let's see where we go as we're into the game now. Starting with the side of Cho and Gall Rescue Rangers, we have Frank on the Hanzo Tazak once again on the Tychus. They did so well on the first time around. Hebrew Hammer on the... Oh, have they switched side again? No. On the Mirrodin with that hammer. Fading Chase Shi on the Anduin and Imski on the... Malfail? No. Yes, Malfail. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, we have Dizzy Wingman on the Leoric. Tater on the Vala. Little Soul on Stitches. Hell yeah. Shyborg is on the Mephisto. And Zesty on Alexstrasza to round it out. I do like it. I don't know how well they're doing a Hanzo. Hanzo is pretty good poke. They have pretty good poke tools into the Alexstrasza, but we do see Alexstrasza does in fact go W build to start off with, so they're not going to be too worried about staying at high health, but we'll still at least need that higher health to get the healing they need done. So in terms of quests, we do have that. We do have Stitches. Oh wow, they're just going to feed Stitches as much as they can. Zesty didn't get the globe there somehow, but Little Soul did, which is unfortunate. We just see Vala is the auto attack build. Didn't get too many auto attacks there, and we do see Little Soul getting 2 good old globes there. Feeding Zesty, feeding themselves, and we do have Shyborg getting a lot of damage. Actually, Little Soul, I should say, took a lot of damage there waiting for that globe. Nice pickup of globes there. Of the healing there. Hebrew Hammer in a very aggressive position. Manages to find Zesty. I'm surprised it didn't hit a minion. But they are forced out. Shyborg chasing them down, getting a lot of damage. That Mephisto doing so much with that level 1 already. And Soul House just says, delicious globes, which, yeah, understandable. Oh, look, another globe. Yum. They are really just going, I want these. And the other quest I haven't mentioned actually is the simple geometry once again from Hanzo. I think that was picked every time by Hanzo this series. I think Frank picked... Yeah. Did he play Hanzo every map this series? I can't remember. I've casted a few too many games today. Little Soul's getting aggressive once again. 2 globes for Little Soul. Already at 10. 9 for Zesty. This is going to be a fun mini game to check on every now and again. And we do have Grenade with Tychus, but Hebrew Hammer jumps on in. Doesn't quite find anything with a follow-up there. Everyone's playing a little bit safe. Tater and Little Soul decide the healing circle's not good enough for them. Zesty's like, hey man, the hell? I put out some good healing for you and you just walk away. And look, now you're getting low. Now, actually, Little Soul will go down. I don't know if that extra... Interesting. I don't know if that extra bit of healing from the healing circle would have saved Soul. I think it actually may have. And we do see that the Dragonite is picked up by... disconnect. Okay. I assumed you did disconnect there, but I was wondering whether you disconnected in the circle area itself. I don't think it was by the look of it, but I guess you would know better than I would. But Dragonite is picked up. We do see that Malfail is just hanging at bottom. Little Soul is back now. And they will be starting to clear the wave. Fading Chaishi getting aggressive. Nice double root with that piercing light at level 4, I assume. And they get behind the gate in time. Emski was trying to get that last hit. But no, they only just found 1 tower there. They didn't even find the gate itself. That is good for you if you are the side of Brickhouse. Gall Rescue Rangers, however, may be a little bit more frustrated they didn't get more there. But yeah, in terms of quests, we do see that piercing lights picked up here. And we have the bigger AR, which... Stitches is one of the bigger ones, especially if they are going globes and stacking their health as their kind of survivability. Doesn't help. But I guess if any of the talent stage picked, it all stacks up their health and survivability. If you either have armor, you have the health increase, or the healing increase, or you have the ease giving you more healing as well. Which I guess into Tychus, the E talent makes the most sense, but not necessarily is the most ideal to save at least. But you're at least holding on here. And Tazik can get very aggressive. Hebrew Hammer hitting the hammer onto Little Soul. Little Soul taking a lot of damage now. And that is a shades of map number 1, Braxis, where Little Soul will go down to a very aggressive Tychus and tank combination. And there's their globe being taken again. How rude. Yeah, I didn't see any disconnected pauses here, so I assume you were connected. I just didn't want to call that one out. But if you're going to say it, yes. But we do now see that the side of Gall Rescue Rangers getting what value they can while the Stitch is respawning. I do like Leoric and Malfail are kind of moving into these double soaking roles in this map, considering that bottom lane quite important to control. But yes, we do see that it is a general clear build from Leoric, and Malthael did go on a Pale Horse this time for that increased rotation speed. But now we're getting into the Shrines being active once again. They will need to be a little bit more on, well, the 4-man of each team needs to be a little more on top of getting that mid soak as well. And I do like that Brickhouse is taking bottom camp. Chongal Rescue Rangers look like they want to get aggressive to check, but they will know in just a few moments that, yeah, it is theirs. And, oh, this is a risky play from Chongal Rescue Rangers. Taylor knows there, Little Soul as well. It looks like they're wanting to step in. And this is already Little Soul taking a lot of damage. Frank is the one to step onto objective. They don't really have anywhere to... Oh, they had a little bit of outcropping there to jump over. They will survive. Hebrew Hammer pulled back in, does jump. That circle, however, wasn't their healing circle. Dizzy Wingman chasing him down. There's no Entomb yet. Emsky has come in now for the fight as well. And there's a large chase, but Tezek is holding on for dear life and able to get out. Emsky, however, is pulled into the team. Get pulled back out by Fading Cheishi. And that will be the fight over. Anduin Poole does so well to mitigate what Stitches wants to do with those picks. And you can see that was a prime example there. Malthael may have very much been dead without that pull coming out from Anduin, which I can't remember the name of currently. Life Grip. I know Death Grip is Death Knight in World of Warcraft, but I don't know what Anduin's talent's called. I'll figure it out soon. I can check. What one are we? Number 5? Leap of Faith. I imagine we'll see double Leap of Faith from Anduin as well. Pick it up at level 16. Anyway, we are up to level 10s. We'll have a look at talents now that I just closed that. We do have the Entomb Leoric. Oh, shit. This talent here, Endurance of Hate, may get a lot done. Little Soul hit with a little interrupt. Zesty trying to get what healing they can on themselves and Little Soul. It didn't quite have the percent healing that they desired, but it still had that lot of healing in between. Meanwhile, we see that it is a Holy Word Salvation from Fading Cheishi. However, they're all stuck at the end of a Entomb now. That is the front line going down of Cholangal Rescue Rangers, both the Muradin and the Malthael going down. We can see now Leoric is going to start journeying up top to see if they can get the top objective over and get the soak that's already broken. In the meantime, Frank gets pulled in, and actually Leap of Faith isn't out in time. Fading Cheishi may have just had it on cooldown, but wasn't able to save the Hanzo. That's his name. I'm looking at him like, who is that? That scatter arrowing guy again. I was going to say prick, but we're going to say it anyway, just because I said it. Hebrew Hammer does actually get out of dodge. Shyborg will be the one in the Dragon Knight, and that will be the second objective of the game, going over to the side of Brickhouse. Well done. Right, we do see the teams rotating down. Little Soul stepping up. Does get a nice little slam on the wave. Dragon Knight is just behind him as well. And this Dragon Knight's taking a lot of damage. The bigger they are does actually work on the DK, because the reason we know that is because you can also get dings on the DK with quests. Dragon Knight is slowly tearing this building apart, and this will give a pretty good advantage to Brickhouse if they do get it. Which they do. Dragon Knight just going down now. We see the knockback hitting Hebrew Hammer. Hebrew Hammer being pulled in by Little Soul. We see the Rain of Vengeance coming out as well. Q not quite finding its mark from Tater. They are already at 127 stacks of the Creative Hunters, so they're doing a lot of damage already, but they can only go up from here. Also, I haven't mentioned some other heroics. We do receive a Putrid Bile from the Stitches itself, and on the other side, oh, Fishing Hook not quite finding its mark there. We do have Dragon Arrow Hearts. We have the Muradin going Avatar, Last Rites Malthael, Commandeer Odin on the Tychus, and as we saw, it was Holy Word Salvation Anduin, which, yeah, they have Vala to interrupt and Hook from Stitches. That's it. They may have Leoric Entomb later in the game if they go... Oh, shoot. If they go Buried Alive, though I don't know if we will get there. That's a bit hard to say at the current point in time. This is a map that can end and does end pretty frequently pre-20s. But we now see that bottom camp is being pushed into by Brickhouse, Chongal Rescue Rangers. None the wiser, and Malthael is not being left alone to double soak like they probably could. Instead, we see Hebrew Hammer helping out. Meanwhile, bottom camp has been found by the side of Gall, by Brickhouse to say the least. Gall Rescue Rangers going to need to move down to defend. But Little Soul is looking like they want a hook. Don't quite find it. Tazek used dash upwards to save themselves, but not necessary in this instance. Meanwhile, we can see Leoric is playing very defensive as well, but that's more or less where the wave just was. And that'll be that mid wave going down in just a few moments. You can see now Tazek is going to get what damage they can out. This building is going to start going down. Dragon Arrow. Good roll by Tater, dodging it. We do see a nice stun coming out. That is the Endurance of Hate coming out. Hebrew Hammer taking a lot of damage process. We do see stun coming out. Oh, Zesty can interrupt as well. Last rights on Little Soul. However, Little Soul is a bit too high. Imski is the one in danger. Imski will go down. Zesty is starting to step up now. Tazek wanting to get what damage he can off on the side of Brickhouse. Hook finds Tazek. Tazek pulled back out by fading Che-Shi. And we do see the Endurance of Hate finding the Hebrew Hammer, but it's because we do see Hysteria. That cooldown reduction when you have your Lord of Hatred passive going will now get cooldown reduction as well. And that, if you can get multiple Endurance of Hate out during a single fight, especially if you go the upgrade as well, which gives a 5.5 second silence on top of that, that can be devastating to say the least. So can Mimic in saying that, but 5.5 is a long time in MOBAs to say the least, especially Heroes of the Storm. We've seen players this stream so far get blown up in just a few moments. Little Soul is wanting to get a hook. Not going to be able to do so. In fact, they do get found by an arrow directly on top of their head instead. So they're going to have to start just wandering around. Hammer doesn't quite find the Soul. Meanwhile, Tater is going to have Hebrew Hammer walk out and backs up a little bit. And I do like that they know who, in fact, will be the one in the Dragon Knight. Oh, that would have been a good entomb, but not enough vision for Dizzy Wingman to see that, however. Gate has gone down. Dragon Knight getting relatively low at this point. Nice pull by Little Soul. Hebrew Hammer jumps out. Nice double stun onto Dizzy Wingman and Little Soul, however. That's too healthy, boys. It's not necessarily a necessary Dragon Arrow to follow up on. Really, you need to grab Zesty or Tater with that as well for it to be really effective. You can even swap one of his frontliners out for Zesty or Tater, but it just can't be both of his frontliners. They're a little bit too healthy. Hebrew Hammer does have their passive third wind going off now. They did take the upgrade at level 1, I believe. But it's now a 16 advantage through for Brickhouse. We see that it is Dizzy Wingman Punch of War. Hebrew Hammer getting relatively low. Tater doing what they can. Nice pull by Little Soul on Hebrew Hammer. Dizzy Wingman thinking about getting a tomb out. And that is fading Che-Shi now in danger. Tater doing just damage to the building, however, at this current point in time. They want the structure before they want the kills. Hook not quite finding anything this time. Malfail trying to get what soak they can in the off lanes, getting that double soak up. But no, that is now fought and keep down bottom as well, fought down mid. And while, yeah, this is... After the first map, I was like, man, Brickhouse feels a little bit outclassed today. But no, this is very much feeling the opposite of this one. We had one where it was definitely Chongar Rescue Ranger strength. The last map very much felt like it was pretty even to say the least, but this feels like it's much more in Brickhouse's wheelhouse. As you do see tanking, like, yeah, sure, we've got a lot of tank coming out. That is not the hook you want. Oh, you're already a camp. It actually is. Tater taking a decent amount of damage. You see Imski is running after the Vala, but it's not exactly a great choice for them. They are getting relatively low. Manticore makes it a little bit too hard for them to hold on, and that will be the kill onto them. Hebrew Hammer jumping up from behind the gates. Fading Che-Shi now one in danger. And Tomb is up. Keep that in mind. I imagine we will see it in just a few moments. As I don't know how Tazek would actually get out of it. Nope, but it'll be them going down. Hebrew Hammer jumps over wall. Hook not quite finding Hebrew Hammer. Hebrew Hammer popping the Avatar just out of concern. We're like, oh gosh. But no, they will hold on this time around. And we do see now waves are going down and this gate as well. Trying to active in just over 15 seconds. This should be a... We should be getting into last fight territory now, because if the side of Brickhouse gets the... not the Immortal, the Dragon Knight, that may be all she wrote for the side of Brickhouse. Okay, now see they are doing the top one. Shyborg, a Little Soul, and Code is pushing on in, which, yeah, may as well take it. This fort is about to go down before the tower behind it is. It does need to go down before the tower behind it does. We see the tower go down now. And we see now we are wanting a fight by the side of Chongar Rescue Rangers before the side of Brickhouse get their Storm talents. Actually, Vala is taking a lot of stuns. Nice friend hook by Little Soul. And no, Zesty's heal doesn't actually go off in time. That is a life binder that ends before too long. But Dragonite is found by the Leoric, and Heberhammer now is in danger. Baiting Chase, she's seeing if they can keep him alive. Which, did they? Yeah, they did go Glyph of Faith in me, and they are that double pull. Yeah, life binder just didn't go off in time. And unfortunately for Vala, that means they're down and lose a stack of that Gambit, which maybe their first Gambit stack lost. Yes, it is their first Gambit stack lost. Right, Dragonite is just getting what poke damage it can. It can't really full commit to anything currently, but we do now see there is a push top by Chongar Rescue Rangers. 20s are through now. Let's have a look, because we do see the upgraded Life Binder, Ritual of Life on the Alexstrasza. We do also see Master Hooker on the Stitches, which fair enough. And there is that silence, unspeakable horror, 5.5 second silence if you're hit with that root. That is a lot. Meanwhile, we do also see the Silence and Tomb Leoric, which, yeah, buried alive is a hell of a drug. And we do also have the, we have Storm of Vengeance of Vala. We don't have the we don't have Farflight Quiver. This is going to be a very fast attacking Vala. Other things to note is actually we are not quite there with Storm Talents on Brickhouse. Brickhouse have a, not Brickhouse, on Chongar Rescue Rangers. Chongar Rescue Rangers have very much an uphill battle to run. Little Soul not quite finding a hook onto anyone, but may as well try. You can at least give someone a good old heart attack if need be. Psychic damage, emotional damage even. I'm playing D&D recently. Now I've just got like vicious mockery in my head and like psychic damage. Because emotional damage does not exist. Nice jump by Hebrew Hammer. Nice double root as well. There's a lot of damage coming out. Tater doing what damage they can as well. We can see Hebrew Hammer getting dropped relatively quick. Even if they are now in Avatar form, they're relatively low. Dizzy going up. They don't quite have the interrupt. However, they don't have it, but the Silence and Tomb does. Dizzy Wingman's actually getting relatively low. We do see Mirrodin going down at first. We see the Malfail going down next. Frank pulled into the team. They do get a leap over a wall. Looks really jank, but they do indeed get it. And now this is the side of Brickhouse pushing into the keep. And has Little Soul just realized they may be able to just end? Looks like they've realized they may just be able to end. There's no major front line. Both for back, all for free left are very squishy. But Little Soul, however, is feeling real squishy right about now. We briefly saw their health go over 10k. And that is a dead core. And that is the game. And the series going over to Brickhouse despite that kind of start. GG call by both sides. Well played. In terms of stats, Tezek had most hero damage, followed by Malfail with the most siege for the side of Chongar Rescue Rangers, but Brickhouse, Mephisto have most damage, most siege for Leoric. They did have a lot of siege in general. It probably meant what kept Brickhouse ahead, despite of course him getting a few more kills. You can see that damage wasn't the issue, so to speak, for Brickhouse. It's just the securing kills. Especially with Alexstrasza doing 98k healing compared to Anduin's 58. Alexstrasza is known as one of those pure healers, and they definitely earned that kind of word there as they did as well as they could. In terms of talents, anything that stand out to me in particular, I do like 93 stacks on Stitches in terms of globes. That is a very healthy boy, fed to the point of the Glutton himself, fed to the point of bursting by Alexstrasza. That is 25% extra speed boost? Yes. Baseline 5% extra, so 25% extra speed, almost at the 30% extra speed, almost at mount speed without needing to mount, which is horrifying. And we do see that everything else kind of makes sense. Again, I'm not sure about the W at level 13 for Tychus. I'm wondering if spell armor would have been better, especially if you have things such as Mephisto or Leoric who do a decent amount of spell damage. However, hindsight is 2020. And let me throw over to the map view screen so I can wrap things up. Sorry, map view screen, so go wrap things up. Right. Let's tick this one. As you do see, Brickhouse did win in the end 2-1. Chongar Rescue Rangers looked very confident on Brax's holdout. They did very well. But then for maps 2 and 3, Brickhouse definitely were the ones to watch out for, and that is kind of how the series went down. So who do Brickhouse have to face this coming round, I wonder? Tournament. Show me! Show me! I'm probably going to be able to get an answer from any of the Brickhouse people in the chat before I get this game to answer me. It's already been done, never mind. Sword and Sorcery on that one. Unfortunately for Brickhouse, this was kind of their last win, but it still was a very good one to say the least. So, well done, both teams. Unfortunately for Brickhouse, they did get knocked out in the next round, but at least they got there. And Chongar Rescue Rangers, they got to least to this quarterfinals and still had a very good showing. However, that has been it for me for now. I have a cast later today in about 2.5 hours for Girls Gang Squad, which you'll be able to find on Plasticine's channel. But for me, that is it for my channel. So to everyone watching, I wish you have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world, because time zone's just a little bit weird, but I'll see you all in the Nexus. Good 1.5. What? Did America have daylight savings? Oh! Wow, thank God I'm wrapping up now then. That's a fun thing to find out right now. I thought I was like, yeah, I'm safe. But no, that'll be it for me for now. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. So, catch you all later, I guess.